Hi, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
Hi, I'm Sal.
And we watch Glory Road.
First off with our presentation, Melanie's going to be telling us the summary of the movie.
The movie Glory Road tells the true story of Texas Western's Miners' 1965-66 men's basketball team and its new head coach, Don Haskins. The team endures criticism, racism, and discrimination through acts of hate and violence as Coach Haskins recruits 7 black players: Bobby Joe Hill, Orson Artis, Harry Flournoy, Willie Worsley, Willie Scoops Kager, Ross Moore, and Neville Shedd onto his team. Despite all the adversity Coach Haskins has and his team of 7 black players and 5 white players faced, they were able to come together and win the NCAA championships against the all-white Kentucky team. The Texas New Western Miners made history as the first NCAA team to play with an all-black starting lineup in the championship game. The movie portrays the real-life struggles the team faced more through the issues involved than with the personality and relationships of the team and its players. Next, Katie is going to talk about the team dynamics in the movie and how the linear perspective ultimately brought the team to success.
Another psychological aspect of Glory Road is the team dynamic. Every team has its own team dynamic, and all teams go through linear perspective of forming, storming, norming, and performing. So forming we see as team bonding, and in Glory Roads we see that with all the boys going to parties, and at the beginning of the movie, the black players go against the white players, so the black players are able to bond against the white players, and the white players are able to bond against the black players. They're also able to bond. They are also able to bond on the bus rides and in classes. In the storming phase, they also attend parties, which is against a lot of the rules that the coach has established for the boys. Also, a part of not getting along with each other is a part of rebelling against the coach because he wants everyone to play with each other. We see this individually again for rebelling as Harry decides that he doesn't need to perform academically as well as on the court. So he decides that in one of his classes he can fail when it is against the coach's rule to do that. Also, Billy Joe decides that he wants to see a female and decides to take her out a couple times, which is also against a rule that the coach has. In the norming phase, players develop solidarity and resolve conflict. So in each game, they play together as a team, except for the Seattle game, which is the only loss that they have in their whole season. It is seen in the Hawkeye game against Iowa that they are able to play their game and perform to their best. Also, at the end of the Seattle game, they're in the locker room resolving conflict of traveling as well as personal conflict as well. In the performing phase, they use the hate of the South to drive for their wins, as well as the love of the game to perform better. Team dynamic was used throughout the whole plotline with personal disclosure, linear, and proximity, along with other aspects of cohesion. For the most part, it was effective, especially in the end of the movie. In the beginning of the movie, where the technique and fundamentals of the game were pushed on the players, and the team as a whole dynamic was lost. But when they played their game, the dynamic succeeded. We believe that Coach Don Haskins' use of team dynamic was effective. In the end, the team came together and used their motivation and cohesion to not only win most of their games, but in the end, the state championship. Up next, Cameron is going to talk about punishment and how Coach Haskin effectively disciplined his team.
Coach Haskin often uses punishment as a method to adjust his players' behavior. After a few of the Texas Western players go out for a night of drinking at the local cantina, he makes the entire team run sprints the next day for a few players' mistakes. Punishing the entire team for just a few players' mistakes can tear the whole team apart. Some of Coach Haskins' methods were a little unorthodox. When Harry's grades begin to slip, he does not take the coach's warning seriously and does not believe this will affect his playing time because he's such a good basketball player. After that, Coach Haskin calls his mother, and she begins to attend his classes, and his grades quickly increase. Coach Haskin also threatens another player that he will be sent home because he is too soft. This causes the player to scream at the coach to prove he is tough enough to be on the team. Lastly, Coach Haskin makes Bobby Joe, one of the star players of the team, run stadium stairs because he's dating a girl. At this point, Bobby Joe screams back at the coach, "Coach, you always tell us how bad we are. How are we supposed to believe in ourselves when you don't believe in us?" Coach Haskin's punishments may not have been effective in every instance, but overall they were effective. He constantly punishes his players because he believes they can do better. We disagree with the fact that Coach Haskin punishes players so much. We think that he needs to reward them more so he is closer to even balance. We agree with Coach Haskin's method of punishment in this situation because he's pushed his athletes to a level of greatness. In another situation, such as high school or Pee Wee sports, this method would be far too harsh. Next, Sal is going to talk about how we can use the information learned from this movie in a real-life coaching situation.
So for our summary, we decided to be coaches. That kind of goes along with the movie also. And we would be coaching college boys basketball during this year, not back then, in 2010, 2014 era. The way we would incorporate team dynamic skills in order to build cohesion on the team would be personal disclosure and proximity. And in the movie, the team achieved personal disclosure through their experiences with discrimination and racism. For example, when the white players experience a criticism and the acts of hate displayed towards their black teammates, kind of made them realize, that they're part of our family, kind of, in a way. That's how the basketball teams work. It's a big group of family. So it helped them bring them close together and be one person, basically. Another example of personal disclosure was displayed in the locker room during the scene after they lost their first game of the season. That's when the black players showed their emotions and told their feelings towards the white players and the coaches, and told them how being a minority their whole lives kind of sucks, and while the white players were atop of everyone. So that brought them together too. And as coaches, for us, we would have the team get together, have a team meeting, have a big group meeting, sit down together after every practice and discuss what's wrong with the team, what we can do better to help build a team, make it stronger in unison. Also, what we would do some activities for the team. We would do building exercises such as "Do You Really Know Me?", where the team will sit down, share things that other teammates don't even know about them. So, or some people can even relate to the things that they don't even know about their teammates. Also, we would use proximity to build cohesion, such as Don Haskins did in the movie, when the teammates lived together in a dorm over time and they spent time together outside of practice, and a lot of times during school too, and that's what helped them build their trust and become a big family together.